being cool. For me, it's something that's always come naturally. My name's Tony Zaret, and you might know me from my many cool videos, shorts, and memes. And I've done some of the coolest stuff of all time. I'm always being cool. And for me, one of the ways I became cool is through gaming. Gaming is when you can really just dive into an amazing world and become cool just by the osmosis of the great stuff in there. I mean, let me ask the audience something. What's cooler? Going to a stupid party full of boring jocks and everyone's there going, did you do your taxes? Guess who got divorced? Guess who retired? Guess who died? Blah, 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 blah. Does that sound cool? Or does this sound cool? Saving the freaking universe. And that's what I do every time I sit down at my PC to game. I mean, you can do anything from escaping from a terrifying Freddy Fazbear attack all the way to laughing along with quips from Sans Undertale. And let's not forget about Poppy Playtime. If you could think of anything cooler than Poppy Playtime, then you've obviously used Gen AI, the highest level of AI, because I can't think of anything cooler than Poppy Playtime in gaming. Nick, thoughts?
No. By the way, this is Nick Nanny. What's up? How you doing? You guys probably know me from my Polycule. Yo, I'm here to say, and as the co-host of this podcast, it's a good thing that I'm here to drop some knowledge on some people. Video games are not cool. Okay, there's a lot of cool things about video games. I'm not arguing that, all right? But, yo, going to a party, hanging with your boys, or your Polycule, clowning on a teacher, driving around mooning strangers. That's what's cool, all right? Reality is where it's at, okay? And reality, that's where it's at.
All right. Let me say some names to you: John Jogeson, David Merkelman, Frank Pietrungle. Do you know what they're known for? Mooning strangers. Now let me say some other names: Markiplier, Ninja, Pokimane, Jacksepticeye. Do you know what they're known for? Gaming. Who's cooler? The people that everyone knows for being cool, or these people like John Jorgensen who are famous for mooning strangers? And I just made them up, but it just shows how uncool it is to go around mooning strangers relative to gaming. I mean, the thing is, everyone knows gamers. Gamers are the coolest people in the world. I mean, I can't think of anything cooler than winning a boss fight. Oh, yeah, winning 2 boss fights. So I just think you're absolutely out of your mind if you think that going around mooning strangers is cooler than gaming.
Excuse me, did somebody let out the stinky? Because it be smelly in here, all right? And you know what? John Jorgensen, if he was a real person driving around mooning people, he could join my damn Polycule, because that's how cool he sounds, all right? Also, here's the thing about gaming, all right? You come into life with swag. You develop your coolness throughout the years. In games, you don't get to transfer that over, all right? You're just with some dork, in Skyrim, and what am I gonna do? I'm gonna jump right and then left, and all of a sudden my man got the drip? That ain't happening, all right? That's something that reality gives you that gaming does not transfer over.
All right, you want to talk about drip? Imagine showing up to school an hour late, dripping in sweat, and everyone goes, "Oh no, what happened? Do you have flu A?" You go, "No. Last night I stayed up all night beating a Minecraft speedrun record." Or studying FNAF lore. That's Five Nights at Freddy's lore, and now I know all the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's. You will get a standing ovation. You come in dripping in this drip, which is clothes. Everyone will go, "Oh, you're just buying fancy clothes to sort of cover up your insecurity about your lack of knowledge of FNAF lore." Well, anyways, we can go back and forth on this topic forever, and we will. We're going to get back into this. But to sort of settle the question of whether or not gaming makes you cool, I've invited in a gaming expert, Mary Houlihan.
Hey guys, thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to settle this debate once and for all.
Yeah.
So, Mary, what do you think is cool about gaming, if I can ask? And if I can't ask any questions, that's fine. We can just kind of sit here, but
sure, yeah, no, okay. Sure. I think gaming is cool because, I mean, you said it like it's a bad thing, but you can jump to the left or the right. You can do tumbles. You can collect coins. You can beat bosses, like Tony said. And when you think about it, you're doing these sort of quests all the time. And what is a quest if not a cool thing?
That's a really good point. And I try to think of that like it's not just gaming that the skills you learn in gaming can be applied to games. They can be applied to life. I think of everything as a game. Me drinking this coffee, I go, coffee achieved, and that kind of thing.
Right,
And
that's like
that
3 HP right there.
Yes, and that's from gaming.
Achievement unlocked caffeine kind of thing.
Yeah. So that's kind of why I think gaming is cool, not just in the world of the games, but in the real world. And I think we need to bring more of gamification
Absolutely.
in the real world.
Now, I'm curious, Nick, you hate gaming? What games have you played? What games have you played?
Pretty much any game that you can name, I played that shit. And, like, I know it all. I'm, like, an expert in games. Don't get me wrong.
But you don't like them.
No, I like them. But it's kind of like, homework or something. It's like this other thing it has nothing to do with coolness. It's mutually exclusive. Know what I'm saying?
All right,
Yes, but then tell me about mooning. Why should I care about mooning?
Okay, see, mooning is like the ultimate video game because, your friends got to be driving. They got to know how to drive fast. You got to get your ass out. You got to make sure that you wipe that thing good so that it don't look like doo-doo. You gotta find the right kind of nerd that you're gonna show your ass to on the street. You gotta make sure the lighting is good. It's an art, all right? Video games, are they art? I don't know. Do you know?
I do know, and they are art. And the thrill that you get mooning someone, you can get that tenfold in a game of Fortnite. Or GTA even. I mean, driving cars around, messing with people, you can do this in games. And with your best friends who live across the country, talking on headsets, or new friends.
So you're saying I could moon my friends in Sri Lanka?
Yes. That's what I've been trying to tell you.
That's what I've been saying. And I don't think you're no offense to you, I think maybe you might be more of the millennial type generation where there was this thing, we don't like nerds, we're going to bully the nerds. But for my generation, Generation Alpha, there is nothing cooler than being a nerd. It means having the epic knowledge of the latest Sprunky drama. How much Sprunky drama can you tell me about?
We're
waiting.
Sprunky?
Oh my God. Sprunky was a fan game that this kid made, and then it got picked up by brain rot content farms, and the kid got doxxed because he got blamed for the brain rot being put out by the content farms. And this guy's eyes are glazing over, and this is what happens when I talk to a lot of these boomers about stuff like this. And I think
elder millennial, not boomer.
Yeah, well, I have an idea. I mean, if you don't think video games are fun, you probably think it's fun to go watch Leave It to Beaver on the radio because you're old, and that's something I don't even know what that means. But yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, okay? When video games, you play them so much, how does that? You think of the world in sort of a video game sort of way, but. Like, what about when you play it so much that you start to hunch over and you get a hump, like Quasimodo, and that guy ain't cool?
Totally reversible. You just have to do the proper stretches.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you're just listening to the audio podcast, use it. Before I game, I do about 20 minutes of yoga, gaming yoga. Yeah, I do this. I put my arms up. And again, if you're just listening to the radio version of this, not radio, what do we call it? NPR podcast. I'm doing an amazing yoga. And if you're watching this on the video, and don't leave any comments about whether or not I'm actually doing the yoga for the people that are just listening.
Yeah.
But Mary, what do you think is a cool game that you've played recently? Do you think you could talk to that? Maybe we could find one that could
Or yeah, like I mean,
Could make Nick-
like obviously I know a lot about games, but if I'm like at school trying to mac on some girl, like how would I talk like I know about games? Not like from my personal experience, but like I know people that like they don't know a lot about games and they try to front like they do.
Right.
But
yeah.
like, yo, like
And, yeah, you don't want to be in that position. I'm really into this new game, Mario Party Jamboree. You guys would love Mario Party Jamboree. Do you like Mario Party?
I love parties.
All right.
And do you know who Mario is?
Yeah, he's the guy with the, you know.
What color is his hat?
Well, yo, like what color is any color? You know what I mean?
Gosh, noob.
It's red.
Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah.
I thought it might be. I definitely didn't think it was blue. I was gonna say red also.
So you like parties, right?
Yo, for real.
So parties, you might see girls
Yo.
drinking,
Yo.
things like that. Well, what if I told you Mario Party Jamboree is just like that, in that it's a board game and you hit special dice, which allow you to go forward a certain number of spaces. And if you land on a blue spot, you get 3 coins.
Oh my God. This sounds like McDonald's Monopoly, and you know I'm into that.
Right? Now you're getting it.
Now, how is it? I know how it's like a board game, but could you explain to Nick how it's like a board game?
Sure, yeah.
I know how it's like.
Well,
a board
I know
game.
how. Well, you should explain to Tony how
Sure,
it's like a
yeah.
board game.
The game's awesome. So it's like a board game board. There's spaces all around.
Tony, pay
and,
attention.
Yeah, well, I
You
know,
know,
I'm
and
gonna
you
zone
don't
out.
Well, I
you
know-
don't
I
want
know
to
about
land
this,
on
yeah.
some of these spaces. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. You land on a red space, they take away 3 coins.
Yeah.
You step on a Bowser space, he's about to give you a bunch of bad luck. He
And
might even steal
yeah.
one of your stars.
Right, yeah. And Bowser is like Mario's boss, you would say.
They're adversaries.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I knew that.
I did.
Yeah.
I was hoping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, how does I love Mario Party. Do you think it's better or worse than Poppy Playtime? Because I love Poppy Playtime.
I think it's better.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's an interesting opinion.
Wow. I think, Nick, what do you think is better? Poppy Playtime or Five Nights at Freddy's?
You know, I like Five Nights at Freddy's more because, like, there's 5 nights, you know. It kind of reminds me of Hanukkah, you know, the Jewish faith, that kind of thing. And, you know, and Freddy, I mean, he sounds like a really cool guy. So, you know, you're going to want to hang out with him. And, yeah, I think that's the right answer, unless it's not.
Well, I personally think that Poppy Playtime is better than Five Nights at Freddy's because of its innovative gameplay mechanics. So I don't think you're going to beat me in this
I guess
round
not,
of the
yeah.
debate.
Wow.
Mary, as somebody who's an expert on gaming, which I am also,
And I am too, but
Yes.
more of
but
Yes.
yeah, well, I
So
mean,
the 3 of us are experts,
Yes.
but we like it, you don't like it.
no, yes,
You like it, but
I
not
like
like partying.
it, but not,
Not
yo,
enough.
I'm not like all about that.
Yeah.
Like
Not
I got
enough.
like a social life. I have a lot of friends at school, kind of thing, you know. So
What if I told you you could play games with your friends from school?
what, like that would like they would be into that? Or
Yeah.
like,
I mean, do you have some friends?
yeah. I mean, I have
What are
like
the-
a lot of friends.
What are their names?
What are
Name one.
Chris R, Jim F,
What does the
Natasha.
R stand for?
The R, Renfield, Chris Renfield.
Chris Redfield or
Renfield.
Renfield?
Chris Renfield. Yeah.
Okay.
Renfield.
Yeah, Chris Renfield.
Okay.
Well,
what does he
you
look
know.
like?
He's tall, he's gaunt. He sort of has a sort of mysterious way about him, but he's also like poetic at heart.
Well, that's perfect for gaming.
Yeah.
So you could just DM him and
Right.
say, "Hey, I'm thinking of gaming
I'm
today
thinking
after
about
school,"
Gaming today after school. Yeah,
Right?
no, I know. Yeah.
and say, "What's your gamer tag?"
Right. What's your gamer
And then you guys can totally game together.
Yeah.
You can meet up on the Steam store and meet up
Where's the Steam store? That's like.
It's on your computer.
I
It's on
know.
your
I know.
computer.
It's a comedy podcast. I'm trying to make a joke.
This guy
you know?
going to the mall. Where's the Steam
No, I
store?
know, I know.
Sir, this is Wendy's. Where's
It's
the Steam
clearly
store? This is
yeah.
Wendy's.
I know. Yeah, trying to make a good clip for the podcast. You know.
Where's the Steam store? Sir, this is Wendy's. Oh, well, I'm at Wendy's. Give me a hamburger. Okay, here's your hamburger. Hey, this is pretty good. I'm done now.
No, yeah.
That's how you sounded.
That's literally how you sounded.
Well,
And
I know.
was
Yeah, I'm. You know.
And I just want to clear something up. That thing, I was doing both the parts of you and the person working at the Wendy's.
What
So
was
if you heard a
wait,
voice,
what was the Wendy's person?
I go, welcome to Wendy's. Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Oh yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
character. Which, this is the first episode of the podcast, but that's a character I'm going to be doing a lot. The Wendy's worker.
Nice.
Well, I mean, I inspired that whole comedic bit. So you know. That's
You
kinda,
did a
that's
great
kind of my
job.
character.
Now, Mary, what is the first video game that you really remember enjoying?
The
as a
first
gaming
video
expert?
game I really remember enjoying was Super Mario Brothers for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah.
And, I was doing all kinds of stuff. Running, jumping, going down tubes, coming out tubes, jumping on a flag, riding a flag down, going into castles, jumping over fire. Yeah, I was doing a lot of stuff.
Now, it was interesting. I don't know if you knew this about Mario, is that it was it's a made-up guy.
Yes,
Did
yeah.
you know that? It's not a real guy.
No.
They just
right?
made him up.
Yeah.
That's a real person,
No,
right?
it's a
Or-
made-up
No,
guy.
no. And this is interesting because a lot of people think, he's a real guy. But actually, he was made up by a game designer.
Oh, okay.
By
Yeah.
Nintendo.
But Luigi, isn't he on trial for?
Different Luigi.
Different
That's
Luigi.
that's
Different
not. That's.
Luigi.
I thought that was the Luigi
No,
from
no.
the video game. Then.
The one from the video game is also a character who's, drawn and not a real person.
But he killed.
But a
the-
lot of people
He killed the
think-
CEO.
A lot of people think that Luigi from the Mario Brothers, killed a CEO. Did he deserve it? Did he not deserve it? That's a whole other conversation.
But he killed Donkey Kong. Do you know who Donkey Kong is?
Yeah,
What animal do you think
of course I know Donkey Kong. Yeah.
What animal do you think Donkey Kong is?
Oh my. I mean.
What animal is Donkey Kong?
Well, it's not a real animal. It's like made up. It's it's.
What animal is Donkey Kong?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm
Is
not.
it do you think Donkey Kong is a donkey?
Okay, well, I'm going to do a bit to make a funny reel for our podcast so we get a lot of listeners. So are you ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong is a monkey.
He
He
is
is a monkey.
Yeah, I know. I was doing a joke, obviously.
Oh,
God. Clowning on you.
bro thinks Donkey Kong's not a monkey.
I'm totally clowning on you.
Bro thinks Donkey Kong's not a monkey.
Yo.
Bro thinks Donkey Kong's not a monkey.
Yo, obviously I knew that.
All right.
Gosh, when your friend is an elder millennial.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes,
I'll
yes.
tell you what video game that first got me into gaming.
Sure, yeah.
Poppy Playtime.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
because it involves great gameplay mechanics.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's what I loved it because I never played a game. I was only one when Poppy Playtime came out. So my parents hadn't really given me video games. But then when Poppy Playtime came out, I was like, wow, this has great gameplay mechanics.
Yeah.
And for me and the rest of
it was pretty easy for me to beat it, even though like the mechanics were great.
Oh yeah, I beat it
Yeah.
too, and that's why I'm a hero to my generation, Generation Alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
I would say what I like most about Poppy Playtime is the mechanics. I feel like they're great. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then also the gameplay I enjoy too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to the next segment of the podcast, and that is we are going to hear a segment from Nick's fantasy novel. Nick
All
Yo,
right.
okay.
has been writing a novel, and as we all know, fantasy is a big deal right now. You have
Very cool.
Things
Very
like
in.
Lord of the Rings, all these
Game
other
of Thrones,
Game of Thrones,
The Name of the Wind.
The
Yeah.
Name of the Wind,
Yeah.
and this is a fantasy novel. Now, if you were I have written a number of novels, but they're what they're called. They're similar to what you do, fantasy novels. Mine are called fan novels,
Right.
And they're from a genre called RPF. That's real person fan fiction. So
Right.
I write about people like David Schwimmer and stuff like that. And I'm what's known as a Yumi Joshi, which is where I am the protagonist. It's a first person fan novel. So I've written a number of ones about me and David Schwimmer kind of having adventures
Right,
together.
right.
So
Well,
they're-
I like to write
That's
real...
really cool.
yeah, and they're actually, and I've printed them out, and I followed him around, and he was on a toilet, and there was a little hair left on the toilet where he had been, and I
Yeah.
got it, and I printed out my fan novel, and I glued it to the
You
front
glued-
cover.
Where was the hair
That's
from?
awesome.
Well, it was on a toilet. The hair was from a
So
toilet. I
you
don't
could
know what-
imagine.
I'm sure it was from his
it
head.
It could have been from
he was
the
probably
head,
leaning
but-
over.
Okay.
I just went in there after him because I sort of follow him around a lot just to get ideas for my
Right.
fan novel. And he had been in there, and I looked, and there was some sort of general hair. It was not in the water of the bowl, but sort of the side, and I got it, and it's in my fan novel. So, anyways, keep an eye out for that. I'm trying to sort of sell it as a kind of sow the beast.
Okay, in other normal news,
Well, fine, let's hear your fan
I've
novel.
written a fantasy novel, and I'm very excited about it. And one of the reasons I really wanted to do this podcast was so I can serialize it and read it over, the air to a large audience. And so I'm very excited. I guess I'll just read chapters 1 through 3 today, which is like 700 pages, but so strap in. I hope you got a nice big mug of glorp juice, which we'll get to that chapter very soon. Okay.
Reminds me of the juice from Fortnite. They have chug slurp juice in Fortnite.
Well, they probably stole this from me because
Okay.
I've been tweeting drawings for a while of what I have in mind. So, anyways, the adventures of Mr. Willie the laser dwarf, and we begin. In the beginning, there were 3 crystals.
Okay, I got to
One-
stop you right there because this is what we call producer check-in time, and we've got a great producer. It's definitely a real producer who looks a little bit different than average human, but these are the real words of a real person, and just to sort of see how things are going in our podcast. So take it away, producer.
The energy between Tony, Nick, and guest Mary is electric. Tony's thoughtful analysis is pairing perfectly with Nick's passionate takes, creating an engaging back and forth that flows naturally. Mary's insights are adding a fresh dynamic, offering unique perspectives that balance well with the host's established rhythm. There's a great mix of humor, excitement, and expert knowledge as you dive into the latest gaming trends and hot topics. The conversation is fluid, with some spontaneous tangents keeping things fun. It's clear that this episode is shaping up to be a standout, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Oh, it's good. I thought that was
Wow,
pretty.
yeah.
That was pretty positive
bad.
feedback from a real producer.
Should we get back to my novel?
No.
or-
So the next thing we're doing, and I'm sorry to Mary for this, but it's basically we had to reserve a segment of the podcast for the guys.
Yeah.
I
So
should have known.
this is what we call the guys' corner.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, there is nothing harder in this day and age than being,
Being a guy. Yeah.
You know, we get up in the morning, we got our ex-wives asking for alimony, we got our
Oh,
kids
yeah.
saying, "Why did you leave me overnight at school?" I mean,
Yeah.
being a guy is probably the hardest thing you
It's
could do.
it's so like nobody quite gets it, but
Yes.
guys, you know,
And you
I
got
feel-
to. A lot of people just don't get what us guys
Yeah.
go through, and I think that's what we kind of are hoping to sort of do in this segment, Guys Corner, talk about
Yeah.
stuff that the guys will get. So I'll start. Don't you hate it when you wake up and you? in the
You already
morning and
got
you-
me
And
pissed
you want to
off.
go to the fridge for one of your men's brewskis.
Yeah.
And there's no more brewskis in your fridge.
Ugh.
And then you go.
America's
you're-
breakfast.
Yeah. And then you try to go watch the TV, and there's nothing but chick flicks on the
Ah,
TV. And this is
God.
just a typical day that us guys have to go
You
through.
expect me to JO to this?
What is that? What does that stand for?
Jacket
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Nick, any guy moments for you recently?
You know what? You know what's really twisting my tail up is, guys, we got the bathrooms with the urinals and the toilets, and women, they get the bathrooms and they're just toilets. And you know what? Like, you ever go in like a men's bathroom and all the toilets are taken and there's like one urinal left, but you got a dookie? You're not allowed to dookie in that urinal? That is messed up, yo.
Absolutely. That's just the tip of the iceberg of what us guys go through. All
And
right.
I heard that ladies have urinals in their bathrooms where they can dookie. And you know what? We got to change this country together.
That's a great point. Now, let's move on to the next segment of the podcast, and that's video reacting. Now,
All right.
reacting is a great way to fill up time, because if you're on
Yes.
YouTube, the number one thing is that the longer your video is, the more ads play, and the more
Right.
ads play, the more you get paid. So but it's hard to think of stuff to say. I couldn't think of anything. You know, we've been doing this. This has been going for how long? 20 minutes, and I'm running out of things to say. But if you play other videos,
Right.
that fills
Right.
time,
And
then
you
it
can
gives
be like, what?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
you know,
So you're on.
just
So-
for instance, you could
Yeah,
be
you
like,
can-
what?
You can say,
Yeah.
I'm going to say, bro. You can do that.
That would be good. That would be good.
Well,
yes.
I won't just say it, though, unless something makes me feel
Right. Yeah.
Right,
No.
right. I might
Yeah.
say something like, I'm definitely swiping left on that.
Okay. All right.
You know,
Yeah.
something like that.
All right.
If it makes sense.
So
for
here-
yeah.
Here's the first video. This is called Tony Gonna Stand on an Egg. And
Well,
if you're,
I mean, you should already like this.
it's my name,
Yeah.
Tony. Oh, yeah. I just noticed that. That's Tony. I wonder if I'm going to be in this video. Wouldn't that be? I
That
might
would
be
be
because that is my name.
crazy.
Let's take a look.
Yo.
So, and if you're watching at home, if you're listening, excuse me, not watching, it's there's a guy. It's a guy. He's gonna try to stand on an egg.
Oh, yo. I'm swiping left on that.
Bro. And he, again, if you're just listening, a guy tried to stand on an egg.
Which is usually a very easy thing to do.
Somehow
And
he fell.
This guy messed it up, yo.
His face hit the egg.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
How did that happen? Well, bro. Oh, did I do that one already?
Dude,
okay.
no.
All right. Well, would anyone here try to do this?
Do we have an egg?
No. All right. Let's move on. Okay.
I
now,
think if anybody does it, it should be you.
I'm Tony.
Yeah.
But then that's already been done. Well, anyway, let's move on. The next video, I found this. It's called If Parents Made a Video Game.
Yo.
Yo.
That's messed up.
Bro! Okay, and so this is a skit called If Parents Made a Video Game.
I know I'm already going to like this.
All right, everyone listen up.
Ah.
How did you get in here? You developers clearly don't know how to
And this is a mom. It's the guy, but he's got a towel on his head to look like a mother's hair.
She's.
Long white hair like a mom.
Oh, I thought she was Middle Eastern.
You can't be serious.
God of chore.
Bro, I hate doing chores, but that's the thing about moms is that they want you to do chores.
The laundry lieutenant,
What?
gladiator,
This is funny.
personal favorite, the Suckmaster. Hey, yo, this is so stupid. And the best part is, once you beat the game, you unlock an insane bonus.
And we should talk over this so we don't get a
Oh,
copy strike.
yeah.
Oh yeah. So is it a game or is it doing chores? I'm not sure.
Wait,
Is it
the mom
the
broke
mom?
in again?
It
Or?
started again.
Oh,
No,
it
I
went
think it's on a
it went
loop.
Okay, gotcha.
So basically, if you couldn't hear very well, I mean, we're talking over it.
Really
I guess-
funny stuff,
Anyway, maybe
really,
Mary, you can explain.
Sure. So it's a mom and she's like, check out this video game. Fun, right? No. She's talking about the most whack stuff ever.
Yeah.
She's
Chores.
God of chore. But this is
Also,
actually
it's like, Mom, why aren't you in assisted living? You know,
Right.
Which is where you're supposed to be.
But I was confused personally. Was she saying you should do chores, or was she saying I've made a video game that emulates chores? Because if it's the latter, I think that's kind of cool.
Well, no, let me explain. It
Okay.
is the latter, but I've watched a lot of these comedy skits, and what it is a lot of them take place in a sort of pitch meeting situation. So what
Gotcha.
I think is the mom this is just showing the culture of moms that it's
Right.
really satirizing their single-minded obsession with
Right.
chores and
Chores, chores,
homework and all this
chores.
stuff.
Yeah.
So the last person you'd want developing a video game is is a mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
of course.
this is the type of game they would make.
You
So
want dad to make it.
yeah, dad would make a video
Right.
game.
Yeah.
I would make
well,
it.
no, because it'd be about mowing the lawn.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, of course. I was making a joke. But
Yeah. Minecraft, more like it would be called Mocraft.
Mo crab.
Mow grass.
Mocraft.
Bro.
So let's move on, bro. So let's move on to the next one, and we'll put a link. We'll put a link to if moms.
You're
make
definitely
video
going to
games.
want to watch it.
You're gonna watch
if you
this.
want to laugh.
And this will make you cool. I will say, and I think even if you don't think video games are cool, we'd all agree that if you remember the jokes and you crack up everybody with the jokes,
Yeah.
Yes.
you could do it. You could tell it as a joke. You go in, you go,
a
yo,
shared experience.
yeah. Well, you say
Yeah.
you come in, you go, my mom is making a video game.
Right.
And
That's
then-
fun. I mean,
Right,
that's funny.
yeah.
Right
And
there.
everyone go, ah, ha, ha, ha. And then you go, no, she really is. And they go, wow, what's it called? The God of Chore. And they go, because God of War
Yes.
is a video.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
because
you
like
didn't
the
know that
no,
God
no,
of
I
War?
know. I just I'm kind of I have a condition where I can't rhyme, so I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A condition called El Riz.
No, I no.
Bro.
That's not
All right.
what
And
that
now we
is.
got one more video. And Nick, you sent this in. You said this was one of the coolest videos you'd ever seen.
I mean, yeah, this is like a movie that's coming out, and it's based on a video game, and
Oh.
it looks so cool.
All right.
And
Right.
yeah, it just
this is called Wing Commander Trailer 1999. Must be a typo, probably coming out
Yeah.
in
It's
2000.
probably- yeah,
it's
yeah.
$29.99. So hopefully we're still
It's-
alive when
yeah.
when this drops. But here we go. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Dude,
I mean,
threatened.
look at those. That it looks so cool. I mean, this
Okay.
is what video games should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, a lot of them are.
Yeah. They have video games now about space rockets and robots.
No,
Yes.
because they can't. No, they don't. They don't.
Yeah. They have them.
You know, Star Fox, Space
Look at
Invaders.
that. That's not
Yeah.
real. That was made on a computer.
Okay. And this it says just if you're not watching, you're just listening. It says Freddie Prinze Jr.,
Matthew Lillard.
Great
Lillard.
actor.
I mean, they got the
Great
hottest
actors.
stars.
Saffron Burrows is in this.
The hottest stars.
They got Saffron.
Saffron Burrows.
Saffron
Bro.
Doesn't get- I
Okay.
mean, that sun isn't even as hot as her.
Saffron.
Yes,
That's how
what I'm
hot
saying.
she is. Yeah.
Saffron Burrows is literally Bay,
Literally.
in my opinion. So then there's some spaceships blowing up. Oh,
I
they,
look, they
what?
got
was
some
that?
Matrix shit in there.
wow.
This is going to be the biggest hit of the year, I think, of 2099.
And,
whenever it
Yeah.
comes
and
out.
Saffron Burrows just said, "You're all going to die," and they're going in a space rocket. Now,
See, this is what's cool.
but here's something I remember from this video game. Because this was a video game.
This was a video game,
And
yeah.
in the video game, oh, here it is. I was gonna say they're these aliens that look like giant cats,
No.
but they only showed. Yeah, oh yeah.
No.
Yeah. But it's interesting because in the video game they were CGI, but now they seem to be sort of greasy plastic puppets.
Yeah,
Sure,
but
yes.
Or in this version of it, which is interesting. Or maybe the CGI is so advanced
look at that romance.
it looks like a greasy.
Like a plastic.
This is,
Plastic.
Yeah.
this is a
puppet.
great time.
And
I mean,
it's coming.
I
When's
think
it coming?
we all got to get a sitter and take our wives to the. I mean, we got take all our friends from school. To,
Just do what I do: get divorced. Then your ex-wife becomes a full-time sitter. 'Cause I
Yeah.
don't have custody. Literally free babysitting every night. one night a month visitation. Oops, I overslept. Sorry. Come back next month. So yeah, I'll be able to go by myself. Anyway, so that looks like a great movie, and it's
we're really
great
looking
see
forward to that.
Saffron
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 Burrows.
Burrows.
Saffron Burrows and.
Hottest babe in the
And
universe.
guess what? If you keep listening, we're
Yes.
having Saffron Burrows is going to be coming on our podcast eventually.
To
but you
promote
have
Wing
to,
Commander, yeah.
You have to subscribe. Saffron Burrows said if we got a 10,000
This is true.
listens,
She
will
would come on to
the
promote
podcast.
Wing Commander.
To promote Wing Commander. So and she said she'd reach out to Matthew Lillard. So to come on too.
and maybe get one of those cat people.
Oh yeah, the Kilrathi. All right, so we watched the videos. We had a talk about stuff, And now it's time for sort of our closing statements. What we think, does gaming make you cool and why? And what have we sort of learned over the course of the podcast? Mary?
I think I really grown during this time because I came in thinking, games are cool, not gaming stinks. But I feel like you actually changed my mind a little bit. Not gaming can also be cool.
You're right, but you're also wrong.
Right.
Yeah. I think, as we said before, gaming is a thing that exists, and we can't deny it that it's out there.
Yeah, whether you like it or not, you have to admit gaming
exists. Yeah. And I think we all learned things that I'm sure there's a lot of people out there they don't know
Poppy Playtime.
They don't know Poppy Playtime. They don't know Donkey Kong. They don't know any of these things. And obviously I know like a lot about it. My friends at school know a lot about it. And, but I think we educate a lot of people where they can talk the talk if they're out there. They're trying to make young friends and, buying them booze is not cutting it anymore.
Yeah.
They know how to talk the talk.
And when,
Right.
And when Nick says his friends at school, he doesn't attend school, but he does sort of hang around school.
Well, yeah. I mean,
he's obviously graduated.
I graduated, like over 20 years ago, but, I still hang around there because they like me there. So, and you hang where you're liked.
And I could actually speak because I am in school. It's a night school. It's called driving school, and I have to attend in order to get my license back after getting a DUI. So I have friends at school, and they don't know anything about gaming, and they're uncool.
Yeah.
You know what they know about? Drinking and driving. Well, guess what? That is really cool. But if you want to take it to the next level, you got a game, and I've been trying to talk about that, and a lot of them are going, we want to go home. We're just here because it's mandatory. I'm saying no. I go in there, I bring my whole PC rig, I set it up, I say, we'll learn about safe driving later, because right now it's gamer time. And then we all play Poppy Playtime. I get freaked out because it's so scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks so much for listening. Make sure to... subscribe?
Subscribe.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I guess if you're
Yeah,
listening, you would have
comment.
Tweet at us on X and say, "Yo, this was the Bomb Diggity
hit me up
podcast."
hit me up on Threads.
Yeah.
And tell me if you liked it. And all right, Mary, would you like to plug anything? Or?
Oh, sure, yeah. I'd love to plug my Twitch show, Mary Houlihan's Painting Party. We do gaming and arts and crafts and all kinds of cool shit.
That sounds great. So until next time, stay cool.
Stay cool.
Because you just learned how to be cool.
How to be cool.